Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, Conner looking for space. Room here to run. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 35-yard line.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first down throw from Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield now. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Kirk now, the return man. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
3 down. Hey, Alpha. Hurry. Watch the pass. Here we go.
On second down, Mayfield again. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A third down gain of 19.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now the former Sooner, this is Rodney Anderson. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight. All the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First down, Green Bay. Get up, 180. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey, switch gears.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go. Quarter's mark.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Two times. Even. 4 down. Even.
Mayfield off the play fake. Rolling to his right. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Good. 180. Regular. Check, Mike 57.
And after all that, he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it. Now Mayfield. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. DJ Moore with touchdown number 8 on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Zerline good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the...
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Five. Mike's 50. Army. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. 24 is the mic. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
From the gun, Mayfield going up top for Miller. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On second down, it's Connor, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Trubisky on first down. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Packers. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Trubisky. Lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Mike 50, Mike 50. Blue down. Mike 50, Mike 50. Come on, D. Point it right. Mike 50, huh? Watch the run. Hey, Mike's 50.
On third down, Mayfield. That's taken in by Henderson. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And Zerline's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, 133.
Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Hey, high 7.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
In your face.
Say. Shift.
Mayfield to throw it. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Jim. Check 99.
They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
22-yard line.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me.
Mayfield now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, G. We're pretty quiet. '24 is the mark of that. You like that?
Here's Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And the throw there going to be incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus. You know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he spots Henderson open left side. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Henderson will try and run for the first. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd down, it's Henderson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Third and long for Mayfield. And he's got his target. That's more. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described.
Look into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Marquise Brown with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
First down, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear it. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
That's what I do.
Again, it's Henderson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple first downs, and this one should just about be over.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 42-yard line.
Come on, alert. Pick up the ball. 49, check 49, check 49.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he loses the football a second time. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with, a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hey, box truck. 50 to Mike. Hey, D-line.
From the gun, a give to Henderson. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
We got 4. 24. I got it.
4th down, Mayfield. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On 1st down, Henderson. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Quick slant, caught by Moore. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Regular. Move. Hey, Steve 6. My God.
On the draw, this is Henderson. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Again, it's Henderson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Henderson going to run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, a run with Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They go play action with Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
So that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Packers pick it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run on 1st down. Connor, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Guys, game situation. Let's go.
Again, it's Connor. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And Trubisky down to a knee, and that is all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
156. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And